Somebody get Shirley with the strawberry letter up here. The people got questions and we need answers. Let's juice.
Come on, Blazer.
It's the beef for me.
Wow, 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 wow. For your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we live.
What's up? It's your girl Voodoo Doll TV back with another quick little joke, and we got to get answers from Miss Shirley Strawberry. Now you be up here on the Steve Harvey Morning Show every morning, and you not telling us about your letter. Girl, I don't know if y'all heard about what's been going on, but apparently, allegedly, they said, I didn't say it, they said it, but they said that her husband, Ernesto, that's the guy in the picture, he was in jail. They say he was arrested on multiple counts that are felonies, and also some of them involved children and animals. Now, let me just say this. This is all alleged. I don't know this to be a fact. I do have a video of a court proceeding or whatever the case may be, but I don't know this to be a fact. So let me just say that to start off with. However, some things ain't lining up the way they supposed to line up in his defense. If y'all, if that makes sense to y'all, but that's just me. But anyway, so let's get into it. So allegedly, Ernesto Williams, aka Ernest Williams, has been arrested on multiple felony accounts of tampering with things that I don't want to repeat right here on this doggone thing right here. I'm gonna let y'all hear the video, and then we gonna come back and we gonna get into some things, because there was some other things that I was just like, wait a minute, what's going on? Let's go.
He's considered dangerous. There are several pending warrants that will be coming out that, based on their content alone, there's a great likelihood that he's someone who commit further felonies. Furthermore, without mentioning the facts of the case in front of us, children were involved. The state is requesting a bond, knowing that he has to have a bond because it's been well over 200 days. A bond of $200,000 per count, giving us a grand total of $800,000 bond for the case involving the exploitation. There are 4 separate counts there. As standard, I would also request that there be an ankle monitor placed on Mr. Williams, as well as that he surrender his passport, not leave Fulton County, have no internet access at all, and no contact with any minors or animals. But again, he's met all of the Ayala factors. He's a flight risk, as evidenced by phone calls that we've heard.
Okay. All right.
Just one more thing. If the court is inclined to grant a bond on this, which would seem, at least the state does have a number of people we would be requesting no contact with as well.
All right.
We consider this person to be a flight risk. We have jail calls where he's talking about going to see his girlfriend in Florida. Multiple times, actually. We have a call where he was talking with his wife about going to stay in her boss's house. I'm going to leave out all the names here, as Mr. Lewis did as well. About her boss's house in Abu Dhabi, which, of course, quite far away from here.
He's considered dangerous.
CP 21259, 355 days without indictment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counts of conspiracy to commit a felony, and there is a $20,000 split bond as of 10/17/2022. Position 5, 355 days without indictment, 23 CP 215407. I'm assuming you want me to waive, Mr. Lewis?
Sure.
All right, I can say it if you want me to, or do you want me to waive?
I don't think Ms. Williams cares, but, yeah, wait, Judge.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 other felonies on there that have to do with nudity, let's say. No bond as of January 13, 2023. 500, 355 days without indictment. There's a $15,000 bond as of 10/31/22 for theft by deception. Let's see, 22 CP 211078, Ernest Williams, 355 days without indictment. $75,000 good bond as of December the 31st, 2022, with 3 counts of conspiracy to commit a felony.
This last case that came about involves, if my understanding is correct, and I don't know because I haven't received discovery on it since it hasn't been indicted, a single photograph that was found on a computer that the prosecution, well, not even the prosecution at this point, I guess it's still the police because it's not indicted or accused, claimed was my client's, and that he was in possession of either the computer or the photograph that's on there. My client has never been accused of anything involving nudity or anything else with children. On one of the bonds, I believe that you signed, Judge, you tell him he can't be with his wife. I'm going to ask that you...
Is that Melody Scretchen?
No, it's the other lady, the SS lady.
Oh, Strawberry.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, let him be with his wife before we end up having a divorce matter in Fulton County.
You have to turn over your passport to Mr. Lewis. No further contact with anyone under the age of 18. No social media. No internet access. Surrender your passport, like I said, and you cannot leave Fulton County. Internet access and animals. I've got animals. No contact with any animals of any kind.
Now you guys heard the seriousness of the charges of what's going on with allegedly Shirley Strawberry's husband. And see, there's a reason why I'm saying allegedly, and we'll get to that in a second. But ultimately, I wanted to touch on the charges. They didn't really go into too much details on what the charges were, but they did say that basically he has been in harmful contact with animals and young people. You know what I mean? And I, for the life of me, am like flabbergasted and floored because I'm like, Shirley, who is this man? Now they said that Steve Harvey introduced her to him and actually walked her down the aisle for her wedding. And I'm sitting here going, oh, so you part of the Steve Harvey camp. Now, I'm not going to put this on Steve Harvey. I don't believe Steve Harvey has anything to do with what's going on. I don't think so. I don't know these people, but I don't think so. I don't think he has anything to do with allegedly what's going on with him. But I do find it very funny that this has been an ongoing thing for over 355 days, right? And let me tell you why I say that. Because the judge literally said there has been no indictment on this case for the last 355 days. I'm going to replay that for you to hear it. And I'm going to come right back and we're going to tie this all together.
By deception. Let's see, 22 CP 211078, Ernest Williams, 355 days without indictment. By deception. Let's see, 22 CP 211078, Ernest Williams, 355 days without indictment. Let's see, 22 CP 211078, Ernest Williams, 355 days without indictment.
Okay, so did you hear the judge literally say Ernest Williams, 355 days without indictment? What that means is he's been locked up at least 355 days. Period. Because, and I'm giving him a couple days or maybe weeks in buffer time, because a lot of times you don't get to court right away when you go to jail. But he has been to court or been in jail, for 355 days. Now, why is that important? So, number one, Shirley nor anybody from the camp has come out to say anything about this, and it's given suspect, right? I don't think that I get it. You don't want to come out and say your husband is this type of person or been alleged to be this type of person. But ultimately, why are they like glossing over this whole thing? Like it's just not happening and it never happened. So I was Googling basically like, is he really arrested? Because there's a back and forth a little bit, not much, but just a little bit, basically saying that, hey, he's not arrested. It's not that, that's the wrong Ernest Williams, right? So when I Googled it, a couple articles came up, but ultimately it was only like 4 articles basically saying that's not him. That's not him. And I'm sitting here going, now, wait a minute. This doesn't smell right. This don't pass the smell test. You know what I mean? So I decided to do a little digging or whatever the case may be. But before we get into what I dug into to kind of corroborate that I believe he is still locked up, if that is in fact him, because I don't know that to be fact. Before we get into that, I want to read y'all a little bit of the article. Let's get into it, child. So now in this article from a name I cannot pronounce, because remember, it was only 4 articles up there that was saying that he was not arrested. But this article basically says Shirley Strawberry is a well-known radio host, author, actress, and television personality who co-hosts the popular morning show, The Steve Harvey Morning Show. She is also the author of The Strawberry Letter, a book where she offers advice on various topics to her listeners. But what many people do not know is that Shirley has a dark secret in her personal life. Her husband, Ernesto Williams, is allegedly a deadbeat tenant who owes thousands of dollars in rent and damages to his former landlord. It goes on to say, despite serious allegations against him, Ernesto Williams has not been arrested or charged with any crime. He has not publicly commented on the lawsuit or the accusations. It is not clear if he has hired a lawyer or if he plans to settle the matter out of court. Shirley Strawberry has also remained silent on the issue and has not addressed it on her radio show or social media. Now listen, emphasis on the fact that, first of all, nobody ain't saying nothing. And that's odd. Secondly, she ain't saying nothing on social media. And from what I found through my little, ghetto hood investigative reporting, I found neither has he. But it wasn't even the fact that he hasn't said anything on social media. It was the last time he posted. Check this out. So now I trotted my thick ass on down to the Instagram to see when the last time he posted. And if you guys look right there, it says the last time he posted, this was his last post, was 52 weeks ago. Now let me just make mention of this. He is very active on social media. All these clips of them riding around and doing things that I'm showing you guys is literally from his Instagram. He might go a week or so without posting, but ultimately he's very active on his social media. How does that tie in? I'll tell you. Okay, so the judge just said he has gone 355 days without an indictment. That's the total of a little up to a year. The last time he posted was 52 weeks ago. How many weeks are in a year? 52. You know what I mean? So I'm saying all this to say, it's him. Yeah, I believe it's him. Them articles and them blogs, I believe that they paid, a couple blogs to kind of like put that out there to get the heat off of Shirley. But Shirley, the heat is on and we need answers. We got to know what's going on. Now, to make matters worse, right? I had remember Charleston White had came out against Shirley and her husband, saying that they scammed him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he said both of them, but I know he said that he was scammed, definitely by Mr. Ernesto here. And it made the allegations that the judge, or the charges that the judge read off of him, excluding the ones with the animal and the young people. But it made those allegations even more true. Because even in that article I read earlier, it said that he's allegedly a bad tenant, or whatever the case may be, a slum tenant or whatever. I don't know. But nevertheless, it made me want to go search and find what Charleston White had to say, and I found it. And I want y'all to hear this right quick, and I'm going to come right back with a little more commentary.
A real credit report is on lock right now. Because remember I told you, the people scammed me for that $1 million out of Atlanta. It made the news. So they can't get come on, homie. They can't. I've been scammed out of $1 million, homie, by some celebrity. Shirley with the Strawberry Letter, her husband. And the other woman, Candy, who say she was my wife, homie. They scammed over $1 million. So they can't get nothing, homie. These people's in jail, been in jail since July. So now, homie, they done stole $20,000 directly out of my bank account. So the paperwork they showing, so the houses they looking at, homie, one of the smartest things my wife did was take that house out of our names and did that, because they would have got us for now, homie. They don't know what they looking at, homie. That's why they saying this. Hey, come to my Patreon to see it.
Did you hear Mr. White? Mr. Charleston said that Ernesto Williams scammed him out of $1 million and has been in jail since July. There are 365 days in the year. The judge literally stated that Mr. Ernesto has not been indicted or seen an indictment for the last 355 days. Let me replay that for y'all, for the slow people in the back.
Let's see, 22 CP 211078, Ernest Williams, 355 days without indictment.
So you see, people, I did my hood reporting and my hood investigation. I am a hood PI, low level, very, very low. I don't really know what I be doing, but sometimes it makes sense. However, in this case, when it comes to Mr. Ernesto Williams being locked up, they won't let him out. No. when it comes to that, yes, it is Mr. Ernesto. Now, what I also found interesting was the judge said that he can't be around children or animals, and that sent me. I ain't gonna lie, that's big. That's real big. Now they said, not me, they said that Shirley is pleading for her husband to come home. But the people said he can't be around children or animals. Shirley, do you have a dog? A cat? A parakeet? He can't come home, Shirley. And it's all right. I know you miss your husband. He been gone for a year or whatever the case may be, but he not coming home, Fat. Let go and let God. You know what I mean? But ultimately, I also wanted to, it kind of crossed my mind. I'm like, does Shirley, like, did she know he was in on this? And catch the tease. He had a girlfriend. He wanted to go off to Abu Dhabi to his wife's boss's house, and they said, not me, they said allegedly that Steve Harvey got a house up down there in Abu Dhabi. It's a lot of questions that we have going on. Shirley, get your pen and your paper and get your strawberry letter up here. We need answers. We got questions. We have a lot of questions and we need answers, because what we're not going to do is pay a few blogs just to say, hey, this is not true, and you're not going to address it. If it wasn't true, if it were not true and he was out and she was out, you don't think he would come out to clear his name? Like, somebody out there make it make sense. Y'all don't think this man will come out there to clear his name? Because he would. I would. Anybody who was accused of anything like this would immediately put out a press conference and say, hey, nah, that ain't me, bro. I don't know what's going on, but that's not me. But that's not what we're getting here. What we're getting is a bunch of gaslighting from a few articles who, one I don't even think was probably written in English. They probably translated it. But nevertheless, a few articles that's going to come out here and gaslight us and make us think Mr. Ernesto ain't the one on the hot seat. Okay? Mr. Ernesto, Shirley with the strawberry letter, we are on to you. Not, I'll say this, because a lot of times, listen to me good. A lot of times black women uphold men in the things that they know they doing wrong and dirty like that. You hear me? Shirley with the strawberry letter, if this is your husband, you better divorce him. Steve Harvey, they say you hooked him up. You need to be held accountable. Not really for his crimes, but for hooking her up with somebody like that. This is unreal. Unbelievable is what this is. Child, this was a lot going on, but y'all let me know what y'all think about Mr. Ernesto Williams and Miss Shirley with the strawberry letter. She better get up here and say something. If not, we gonna run with it, because that's what we do in the media. Because we are the media of the United States. Okay? Yeah, girl. All y'all who still listen to Steve Harvey Morning Show, call up there tomorrow and ask what is going on. We need to know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop down in the comments and let me know, how y'all feel about it or whatever. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, y'all. I'm looking forward to y'all comments. Everything, all that good stuff. And I will see you hoes later. Bye.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.